Kenya's Gold. Brought to you by Cooperative Bank of Kenya.
In the Cooperative Bank pre-owned car finance scheme, anyone with an income can walk into a second-hand dealership and drive out with a car that best suits them. With financing options from Coop Bank, it's that simple. Talk to us to find out more.
Kenya's Gold.
And we meet once again this Thursday evening on the 7th of August on the show that serves as your one-stop shop when it comes to all matters agriculture. Now, Kenya's Gold is the home for all the farmers, aspiring farmers, and the youth as well. Now, speaking of the youth, there has been a major concern here in Kenya, given that the average age of a Kenyan farmer is 55 years and above. And when you ask many young people, many children, like it used to happen to us back in the day, unaulizwa, ungependa kuwa nini when you grow up? And a lot of cool professions will come up like doctor, pilot, engineer, journalist. But where is the farmer? What can we do to make sure that we are incorporating young people in the agricultural sector? That is going to be forming part of our conversation today on the program. Once again, a very good evening, viewers. Thank you so much for making time to join us from whichever part of the world that you are watching us from. Kama kawaida yetu, we do have a great show lined up for you. My name is Violeta Ngina, or the International Mkulima. Now, moving on to the agenda of the day, every single Thursday for the last several weeks, we have been focusing on coffee farming in Kenya. A lot of developments have been happening in this sector, including a historical increase in the coffee prices, which our farmers are very happy about. Now, today the show is going to be a bit different. There will be a bit of coffee here and there, but most importantly, we will be talking about the role of the young people in agriculture. So to start us off, as you can see right behind me, tuna ndege hapa inangoja to board. We will be going all the way to the United States of America to learn about the young people in this country and their role in agriculture. Are they interested in agriculture? We get to find out in our Gold feature starting now. Welcome to today's feature. We are in Vermont in the United States of America, and in this particular feature we do want to speak to the young people in the agricultural sector. Now remember, one of the biggest challenges that we have been having in the agricultural space across the globe is the fact that the average age of a farmer is 50 years and above. So there's need to make sure that we do have young people in the space of agriculture. And now I do have some very young farmers from here in Vermont, and I want them to introduce themselves and tell us how old they are. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Tell us your name and how old you are.
I'm Samantha Shetty. I'm 20 years old.
Nice. You are?
I'm Emma. I'm 20.
I'm Becca, and I'm 19.
I'm Kelly. I'm 21.
I'm Colleen. I'm 21.
I'm Cass, I'm 21.
Oh, he's the only gentleman in the group, but trust, there are very many others here in the University of Vermont. And I'll just start here. Maybe you can tell me, at 21 years old, where did you develop the passion of agriculture from?
I mean, I'm a pre-veterinary student, so I've always had an interest in animals, and I wanted to get some large animal experience, so I've been spending some time with the cows here, and I'm really enjoying it.
All right. So after you're done studying here at the University of Vermont, do you see yourself owning a farm, getting animals, and continuing with agriculture?
My plans are to go into small animal medicine, but I'm definitely always going to value my time with the cows, and it's definitely given me a new appreciation for them that I didn't know I had.
All right, thank you so much for that. I'll come here. Also, you can tell us, where did you develop your passion for agriculture and animals?
So I'm also a pre-vet student. I did the CREAM program last year. I'm advising this year. The ladies on this farm, the girls, the cows, we call them the ladies, they're just lovely. They are just so, they're big puppy dogs. So I've just grown to love being a part of the dairy industry in general because of them, and just the hard work that we put into every day and chore. It really shows a good work ethic, as well as just fulfills me as a person.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you come from an agricultural background? Maybe your parents, your grandparents? Is this something you've grown around?
Not really. I grew up in an agricultural town. We have my town is basically farms and golf courses.
Which town is this?
It's in Connecticut. It's called Orange. Yeah, we have 3 farms in our town, and it's very, very big part of our culture in Orange.
Good. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to come here. Now, our colleagues say there's a lot of work that you put in the farm. Maybe you can just take us through a schedule of what it really looks like once you get here in the farm from morning to evening.
Yeah, definitely. So we have 2 lectures per week that we participate in, and we get taught by our veterinarian and professor, Dr. Wadsworth. And we also attend meetings where we can talk with each other as students and with the farm staff about what's going on the farm and any issues that we need to talk about, and anything we can fix. And then the students will have around 3 to 4 chores each week. We have a breakfast chore that starts at 3:30 in the morning, a lunch chore that starts at 11:30 in the morning, and then a dinner chore that starts at 7:30 at night. And these are when the cows get milked. So those chores last around 4 hours. It's a lot of manual labor, but it's a great time for teamwork, and really good work ethic skills for the future.
Do you do milking yourself?
Yes, all the students learn how to milk. We learned proper protocols, proper biosecurity for it, and everything.
Talk to us about what that proper protocol is, and also those biosecurity measures that you put in place when you're going to milk the cows.
Yeah, totally. So it's important that all of us, if we do have other contact with animals, especially other cows, and if we have poultry experience, we have separate clothing, completely separate shoes, and we don't work with them on the same day because we want to keep these cows safe from avian influenza. For milking, we want to make sure that we're keeping the cow's udders as clean as possible, and when we're milking, we're wearing gloves. We're wearing different gloves for each group of cow, and we're keeping any cows that have any bacteria separate from our healthy cows so that we can let them heal and keep the healthy cows healthy.
Good. Thank you so much for that. Now, she has mentioned that we have to keep the udders of the cows as clean as possible. Talk to us about how you do that, and also during milking. How many times do you milk during the day?
So we milk 3 times a day. As Kelly mentioned, it's the morning, brunch, and then dinner chores. And when we milk, we keep their udders clean by, we sanitize the teats. We use pre-dip, which is the hand sanitizer for the cow's teats. And then we strip them out, we dip with pre-dip, and then leave it on for about 30 seconds so it can do its job properly. And then we wipe it off with a clean dairy towel, 1 towel per cow so there's no contamination. And we use the 4 corners. 1 corner corresponds to each teat so that it's extra clean. And we wipe it off, and then once all the teats are they've been pre-dipped, wiped off, then we put the milker on. And then afterwards, when they're done milking, we also put on post-dip so that it kind of sanitizes and seals up the teat holes so that when they go back to lay down, they don't get any bacteria from their stalls into their teat canal.
All right, that was very elaborate. You are truly a farmer. All right, so we came here today and there was an activity that you were doing on vaccination. Talk to us about how often you do it, and we are vaccinating against what diseases?
Yeah, so we do vaccines every Monday after our lecture. So every student in CREAM has different committees, and so vaccine committee is one of them, where we have 3 students, but we kind of invite as many people as want to help out, because as you can see, some cows are less excited to be vaccinated, so it takes a lot of hands. But yeah, so we kind of split it into, we try to do around 10 to 15 cows per vaccine week, just so we're not overloading their system with getting like 5 vaccines at one time, and we're also kind of splitting up how many cows we have on the farm. So today we did 3 different vaccines. We did J5, which is against mastitis from E. coli. And so that was given to some of our manger ladies, which are the ones getting milked, and just a few of the summer camp ladies, which are the ones out here. We also did Ultrabac, which is Clostridium disease, which we are trying to give to one of these younger girls. And then to one of our babies, which are, all of our calves are in a separate facility, we did an intranasal vaccine. We like to keep them separate just again for health reasons. But yeah, so it's every Monday that we do the vaccines.
Is mastitis a common disease in cows around here?
Yeah, it's pretty common. We try to keep it under control at every chore. So every time they're being milked, another part of udder health is spraying for udder rot and trying to keep their udders as clean as possible to avoid mastitis. We have a few girls that have chronic mastitis, so kind of different protocols for them, but we try to vaccinate to be as preventative as possible with it.
All right, good. Thank you so much. And here, so for those animals that have chronic mastitis, there's a different, routine that you take for those. Maybe you can take us through what that routine is like.
So those girls, we usually milk them towards the end of chore. So after all of our healthy girls have been milked, they go in a separate group. And for them, we use different post-dip and pre-dip cups as well. So there's no cross-contamination between what's on their udders and what is going on our healthy cow's udders. And we do the same protocol. So we do the pre-dip, wipe off, put the milkers on, and then post-dip, but everything stays separate, so there's no cross-contamination between our healthy and our mastitis cows.
All right, so when you're milking the cows, how many liters do you get from these cows in a day? And that's for a cow that is at optimum production.
I'm not sure about the liters, but at optimum production, we get between 20 and 50 gallons of milk per chore. Our high producing cows can get up to like 40 to 50. Our low producing cows will be somewhere in the 20 gallon range.
All right, good. So I'm going to go back here as we wind up. There are not so very many young people who are in the agricultural sector. If you were to give them a piece of advice, all right, about viewing agriculture in a different way, what could you tell them?
Ooh, I don't know. I think everyone thinks of farming as, like, as you said, a lot of people, like, average farmers, like 50 years old. It really is fun to do it while you're younger, because there's a lot of, like, hands-on stuff that you may not be able to do when you're older, and it's a really cool experience to have while you have, like, the versatility and, like skill set that you have when you're a young person, honestly.
Right. Yeah. So they should get into it now when they're younger.
So they can learn everything now, and then if they fall in love with it, I mean, absolutely do it for as long as you can. Yeah.
Talk to us about your future plans in the agricultural sector. You're young, in your early 20s, and the more you grow, the more goals you develop. So what more goals do you have in this space of agriculture?
Yeah, I'm also a pre-veterinary student, and I didn't grow up in agriculture, so this is all very new to me, but I've kind of opened up my world to everything that comes with agriculture in terms of like reproduction, nutrition management, all of that. So I'm just excited to see what opportunities are ahead of me.
Right. Now, in this particular farm, even here in the University of Vermont, maybe you can talk to us about how you are incorporating technology and digital innovation into agriculture, because the young people are tech savvy, and I know that's what interests you the most. So maybe you can tell us what digital innovations you're up to in this farm.
Absolutely. So this year we adapted a system in our farm called Smacks Tech. So each cow in the farm, specifically the girls in the manger, the arena, and just the manger and the arena, have these boluses viruses that live in their stomachs, the rumen specifically, it's the biggest part of their stomach, that track their temperature increases, their water intake, their rumination, their calving indicator. So if they're close to giving birth, it indicates when that's going to happen. All different like vital signs, so that we as the farmers on here and taking care of the girls, we know when to intervene on certain things. Like if they have a high temp, we need to address it. For treatments, we have specifically.
What is the size of what is inside?
Oh, the bolus? It's a little pill size. I would say like about this. It just sits in the bottom of their stomach. And
at what point do you put it? When the animal is young or old, or any time?
Yes. So we I think we have, when we transition the cows from the coverall into the arena, so they're about like 1 year old, we do the boluses in them. It is also a new thing on our farm, so we're still figuring out all the kinks and technology with it, but yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to show me something.
Yes, absolutely. So there's an app that all of us have on our phones. It's called the SmaxTech app, and the front screen shows everything. So this is where we mainly focus on. This is Health Plus, so it notifies us when there's any ketosis possible.
Is this on one animal or all the animals?
All the animals. So yeah, so when something happens, if you go onto this, so this says reduce drinking cycles for Samoa. So once you click it, it pulls up a graph, and this is for each of the cows, so they all have their own individual graph, and you can click on this. It shows their temperature at certain times, what the normal temp they are usually at, their activity.
So the temperature currently is at 105?
Yes. Oh, that was a couple hours ago. So right now, her temp is at 102,
but the normal is 104, so that's okay.
Yes.
All right.
So, and tracks their activity, their calving indicator. She's not close to giving birth, so yeah, their calving indicator's at 0, but gives us all the vital things that we need to take care of our girls.
So you have the report for all the animals, and it helps you to monitor them.
Yes.
Ooh, that is very interesting. I like that. So I'll wind up with you, and maybe you can tell us how this technology has helped in making agriculture easier and more manageable for you as a young person.
Yeah, so especially with the cows whose health that we're tracking, like Colleen was saying with the mastitis indicators and the water intake and stuff like that, it's a lot easier to jump on an issue quickly if you catch it early, which SmaxTech allows us to do. In the past, when we didn't have this technology, we just have to rely on observing the cows with our own eyes. So if something happened overnight while we weren't here, we may not be able to catch it until the morning. So it gives us a chance to kind of react proactively and catch this stuff early, so that we can give them the best treatment possible.
Right. And I like how you call them the girls. You'd assume it's a person, but yeah. So finally, just also tell us, you're in the vet space, so you deal a lot with the animal health. What do you think are some of the common mistakes that we make as farmers that could lead to, poor health of our animals and poor production of our animals as well?
One of the biggest things is definitely like kind of biosecurity insufficiencies. So like here we take biosecurity really seriously. Like my classmates were saying, we wear different clothes here than what we would wear necessarily around other farm animals. We practice really specific udder hygiene. I think in some spaces, biosecurity isn't taken as seriously, whether that's due to like just lack of funds or lack of time. But you start to see a lot of issues crop up when you have issues with biosecurity, where we're maybe not necessarily keeping the cows as clean as we should be, or we're allowing stuff like birds to enter that can carry avian influenza. So thankfully we take it very seriously, but not everyone has the ability to do that. So.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So how many girls do you have here?
What are we at now?
94.
Yeah, 94. We have about 56 in the manger, which was the first place we were in. So those are all the cows that are currently producing milk.
Great. So I'm going to wind up with you. I want you to talk to the young people, not only in the United States of America, but also in Kenya, where we are coming from. Just give them a word of hope and encouragement about agriculture.
Yeah, I mean, something that our professor, Dr. Wadsworth, talks a lot about is kind of the impact of all of this rather than just the experience. So obviously we're all doing this as a class, and especially if you're like pre-vet, you're trying to get experience, but we're producing milk that's actually going to feed hundreds of thousands of Americans, and same with all over the world. Our agriculture and our farming is putting food on the plate. It's helping people nationwide, and that's a really great thing to be able to feel while you're doing this work. It can be tiring and hard and long hours, but knowing that what you're doing is having an effect on hundreds of millions of people and feeding people is really great and makes it all very worthwhile.
Good. Thank you so much for fantastic words from our young people in Vermont. Here we are in the University of Vermont, and they're very passionate about all matters agriculture. They've been vaccinating, they've talked to us about biosecurity measures, and also some of them have hinted about their hopes and dreams in the space of agriculture. Such a fantastic sight to see, and just keep it right here at Kenya's Gold. We will be bringing you some more interesting content on farmers in the United States of America. Such a great pleasure speaking to the Gen Zs in the United States of America, who clearly have so much passion for their animals and a growing passion for agriculture as well. And that is exactly what we want to see right here at Kenya's Gold. Now it's time for us to take our first break, but allow me show you who has joined me in studio. Terera ameniacha kidogo, lakini nimepata new partners. We do have different farmers catering to different age groups. Tuko na wajenzi wetu pale mwisho. Gioko, thank you so much for making time to be with us today. We have Avril, a seasoned coffee farmer, and she's also in value addition. We have Mr. Gikonyo, a seasoned farmer. And finally, Francis Maina, one of the young people that we do have in the agricultural sector in Kenya. Thank you so much for making time to be with us today. I'm looking forward to hearing more about your insights when it comes to young people in agriculture. Lakini hata kabla tuende your break, Mr. Gikonyo, in maybe less than 30 seconds, what do you think of the young people we've seen from the United States in agriculture?
Well, from where I sit and what I've observed is that they are very passionate about what they are doing. And so, despite the fact that they could be having some other laborers, the passion that they have in doing agriculture is top-notch.
All right.
Yep.
The passion iko huko juu. All right, so we will dive deep into that conversation after this first break that we are taking right here on the program. But as is the norm, we always do have our farm joker question of the day. And today we are asking you, where do horses go when they are sick? Where do horses go when they are sick? I'm looking at you because you're the ones to give me answers at the end of the show. Now stick around with us. After this break, we come back with a very interesting conversation on the role of the young people in agriculture.